saying that we are going to reduce money which has been set by an independent body, given powers, using a particular base. Madam Speaker, sometimes before we talk here, we need to be educated in exactly each and every role that we are discussing. If we discuss the issue of the division of revenue bill, which I had my sister talking about, my sister Paris, saying that there's an amendment to it from the National Assembly to come here. This will be the first time in history, Madam Speaker, that I've heard that the division of revenue bill has been amended. And this explains why, until today, the President has not signed CARA, the County Revenue Allocation Bill that we passed in this House. Section 5 of the division of the revenue bill is very clear. If there is a shortfall in any revenues, the national government absorbs it. So I hope that when we are talking about all these issues, the first thing that should not happen, and the committee which is going to be mediating on this should not go out there and shame us. We cannot relook at, we cannot entertain any amendment to the division of revenue bill. That is issue number one. Issue number two, Madam Speaker, Treasury has not released money that has been set aside by the Constitution to uplift the standard of living of people. And here, I disagree with my colleague, Senator Kajwang, that there are a few things that we may need to change. But I believe that counties, especially like a county like Narok, has got pockets of marginalization. Because these are skewed by the leadership that comes in. They decide we are not going to support people from Mosiro. We are not going to give them water. We are not going to give them a hospital. So I want to persuade my colleague, Senator Kajwang, that I am in pain today. Because Narok County was supposed to get about 850 million to be able to help these pockets of marginalization. And that was advised by the wisdom of the Commission of Revenue Allocation, who went around looking at studies, looking at poverty indexes in this country, and saying that the people in Leshuta or the people in Mosiro do not have water. They have no hospital. So instead of saying the entire Narok County is marginalized, let us be realistic and we say even people in Kilifi, there are parts in Kilifi which are not marginalized. Madam Speaker, I'll request that you give me just 3 more minutes. Because these are things that we're discussing which are very important. And it is important for us to demystify
just 1
them.
minute, Senator.
After my time, yeah?
Not 3 minutes.
Okay, thank you, Madam Speaker. It is important, and I hope that Majority Leader, next time when we have such bills or motions to discuss, we are given the 15 minutes time that is in our standing orders, instead of curtailing debate, because people out there will not understand. If now we are being told by our own colleagues that we are not agreeing to reduce money that goes to our counties, yet the equalization fund is not going to the counties, we have to explain to the public, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, since inception, the money that has been released on the equalization fund is not quantum physics. It's money that everybody knows. It's only 13 billion. And that 13 billion, county governors have not even seen a penny of that money. You know, these ministerial state agencies are the ones that implement those things. In fact, they have not even paid the people who did those works. If you go to Narok County today and you go to Kilgoris, you'll find hospitals that were built under the equalization fund, people who are not paid. So when we come here, let us separate fact from fiction. And the facts are, there's a lot of indiscipline in Treasury that we need to correct. When we are now correcting, any money that has been set aside for equalization fund, send that money. Number two, you know, number two, it is imperative that at least now, when we are trying to be in this sort of like musical, because I call it a musical of trying to correct all the misgivings and all the bad things in this country. The first thing that the National Assembly should do, they should try to pull up their socks so that they can be able to base the revenue which is sent to counties to current financial statements which are audited. and adopted by Parliament. If we are looking at the year 2020, 2021, are we being honest with each other? Number two, Madam Speaker, I want to plead with the President that sign CARA. We divided money between national government and the county governments. CARA
Senator
assists
Kajon
us
and Senator Uroba,
divide,
can you consult in low tones?
divide money among our
Senator
counties.
Uroba, you were complaining a few minutes ago that you could not be heard on the floor of the House because of senators making noise.
Yes, sir.
Proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I hope you had stopped my time. Madam Speaker, let me repeat that again. Please, Mr. President, since we're in this musical of trying to please everybody and to correct all the misgiving, all the indiscipline in national government must be corrected. Tell your folks at National Assembly to pull up their socks so that we can be able to audit current financial statements so that money can be divided based on current financial statement audited. Number two, please sign the CARA. There's no way we are going to sit here and amend the schedule, the cash disbursement schedule to the counties. I mean, seriously, why should we be sensational? And that is the problem, Madam Speaker, of having a government with a policy of being reactionary. We should be, at least we should actually be able to think.
Mr. Thank you. There are no more senators who would wish to contribute to this motion, so I call the move